All right, let's talk about something that absolutely wrecks traders. It's a psychological trap, and it costs people everything. And you know what? It all boils down to one simple, brutal truth. Yeah, that right there, that sentence, it's basically the diagnosis for a silent career killer. We're talking about someone whose ego is in the driver's seat, and guess what? Their portfolio is the one paying the price. Every single time. So this brings us to a paradox, a really common one in trading. I mean, have you ever wondered how someone who seems to get the market so well can just fail over and over again? You know, we all know this person. Or let's be honest, maybe we are this person sometimes. Their analysis is just brilliant. Their trade setups look perfect. Their grasp of the market is top notch. But then you peek at their account balance and the story just doesn't add up. So what gives? It's not the strategy, I can tell you that. It's something way, way deeper. Because the real battle, it isn't happening on the charts at all. It's happening right inside your own head. It's this costly game your ego is playing, and believe me, the stakes are dangerously, dangerously high. Okay, so let's actually put a name to this invisible enemy. It's called loss aversion, and we have to thank the legendary Kahneman and Tversky for their groundbreaking work on this. See, they figured out that our brains are just hardwired to avoid pain. And here's the kicker. The pain of a loss feels roughly twice as intense as the pleasure you get from an equal gain. And this chart really just drives the point home, doesn't it? I mean, look at that. Gaining $100 feels pretty good. But losing that same $100, oof, the emotional hit is literally double. And I want to be clear, this isn't some kind of personality flaw. It's just how we're wired as humans. But when you bring that wiring into the world of trading, it is absolutely catastrophic. And this is exactly how that wiring hijacks your trades. You know what happens, right? You cut your winning trades way too early just to get that quick hit of relief from locking in a gain. And then you hold on to your losing trades for way too long, just hoping they'll turn around. Why? Because closing that trade for a loss, well, it feels like you're admitting you were wrong. And just like that, your decisions aren't about managing risk anymore. They become all about protecting your ego. And this is such a critical point to understand. That desperate need to win, to be right on every single trade, it's not ambition, it's not confidence, it's fear. It's fear wearing ambition's clothes. You're just afraid of what that loss says about you. So the big question is, how do we fight back? How do we combat our own faulty psychology? Well, the answer is surprisingly ancient. We have to build some mental armor, and lucky for us, the Stoics left behind the perfect blueprint. I mean, think about this. 2,000 years ago, the philosopher Seneca gave us this incredible piece of advice. He said, rehearse the loss before it arrives. In other words, don't run away from the possibility of losing. You have to confront it. Heck, you almost have to make friends with it. Because the thing you're prepared for, it can't paralyze you anymore. And the Stoics had a cool formal name for this practice, premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. Now, this isn't about being pessimistic or negative. Not at all. Think of it like a psychological vaccine. By imagining the negative outcome in advance, the trade hitting your stop loss, you completely strip away its emotional power before you even enter the position. And you can see the difference this makes in the real world. On one hand, you have the hopeful trader. This person is strapped into an emotional roller coaster. They're basically a slave to every tick of the price. Then you have the stoic trader. They're calm, they're detached, they're focused. See, they aren't watching the screen to see if they're going to be right. They're watching to make sure their process is being followed. It's the difference between gambling and executing. Okay, so this all leads us to the single most practical, actionable shift you can make right now. It all comes down to changing what you measure. Because when you change what you change what you value. Let's just call it what it is. The core problem here is that you've fused your personal identity with your trading results. A winning trade means I'm a genius. A losing trade means I'm a total failure. And when your very self-worth is on the line with every single tick, you can't possibly make rational decisions. All you can do is make decisions to preserve your ego. So you have to break that connection. But how? Well, you start by completely redefining what success even means. Stop looking at the P&L of a single trade. Instead, start measuring how well you stuck to your process. The only question that should matter is, did I follow my plan? That's it. That's the new game. And this table just lays it out perfectly, this new mindset. Look at trader A. They followed all the rules, and they lost the trade. You know what that is? That's a huge win. Why? Because they executed perfectly and got clean data about their strategy. Now look at trader B. They broke all their rules, and they won the trade. That's actually a massive loss. They just got lucky, reinforced terrible habits, and learned absolutely nothing.
And this is the end goal. This is what true freedom in the market looks like. It's not about winning every trade, not by a long shot. It's about getting to a place where a loss costs you nothing more than a pre-planned, pre-accepted amount of capital. It doesn't touch you emotionally, your identity, it's completely untouched, totally separate from the random outcome of any one trade.
All right, let's bring this all home and make it real for you with one last really powerful exercise. I want you to really take a moment with this one. Think back to your last trade that won against you. Now, don't just tell me what you thought, tell me what you felt. Was it anger? Was it fear? Humiliation? Maybe shame? Whatever that feeling was, try to write it down in a single sentence. Because that sentence is a map, and it's pointing you directly to the work that needs to be done.